Hey everyone, this is Agony on the Amiga. I want to say this first just to get this out of the way. This song is pretty famous because it was, I should have looked this up before because I only know this in happenstance, as I don't listen to Dimmu Borgir, or however you pronounce their name. I always call them Doomy Burger. But it's famous. This song is famous because at some point many years ago, one of the members of Doomy Burger stole this song, changed it a little bit. Anyway, it was really obvious. Actually got caught for that. It's a really good song. This is. I don't know about their version. I remember I heard it, but I don't remember what it sounds like really. There you go, Tim Wright. Previously mentioned in Shadow the Beast 3. Anyway, this is a, not the music, but this game is a shmup. I'm not very good at shmups. I mean, I've played a couple dozen here and there, but I wouldn't say that I'm a master of this genre. Nor am I a master of this game. Nor do I think that this game is particularly great in terms of gameplay. But, like the music, what is really good about this game is the art direction, the style of it. And the reason I'm speaking this long without actually starting the game is because I want to continue showing off this music in the intro scene. Or intro image. It's great, and the music and the visuals are probably the best thing about this game. Although, as it's one of my childhood Amiga games, I'm probably much more attached to it than most people. Anyway, that's enough rambling about crap. Alesti's metamorphosis into an owl. The time to fight has come. I've heard many people talk as if the name of the owl is Agony, or that the wizard Alestes was like transformed into an owl. I'm pretty sure from the manual that Alestes transformed himself into an owl to fight the magic battle against the evil wizard, whose name I do not recall at the moment. I remember reading the manual a long time ago. But as a kid, it scared me, so I threw it behind the couch and then lost it. And I had to buy it again. Although I had to buy the whole game again because no one is going to sell just the manual. Anyway, let's go. Like I said, shmup. Not much to say, really, about the gameplay. One of the reasons I would say that the gameplay isn't too stellar is that, for the most part, like 90%, maybe 80% of the game can be dealt with by just screen hugging, or like hugging the corner over here. But for the most part, game's not too hard. I say that, but there's no guarantee that I do not consistently beat this game as I do other Psygnosis games that I've played, like Shadow the Beast. Because the later stages can get pretty difficult, and I have less practice with them. As a kid, I never beat this game. It took me, I don't know, quite a long time. There was a game called, I want to say, Hole-in-One Golf. And the golf balls in that game were yellow spheres, just yellow with no other accoutrement, as they say. And they remind me of these little yellow pellets that the monsters in this game, so like that one right there, shoot out. that are just like invulnerable obstacles that happen if the monsters or the enemies are on the screen for too long. So, as a kid, I legitimately thought the enemies in this game were shooting golf balls. Even though those are yellow and look nothing like golf balls. That's because Hole-in-One Golf, or whatever it was called, I think it was called Hole-in-One Golf, had yellow golf balls. I would really love to play that game, but I have been so far unable to get it working on an emulator. And I do not... I'd have to, like, go digging around for a physical copy that I own, because, it's not like the greatest golf game ever made, and so I saved it. But, it has, you know... It's a mini-golf. It's a mini-golf thing, and it's got lots of interesting gimmicks that I've never seen in other mini-golf games. Not that I'm a connoisseur of mini-golf games. In fact, I think I've only ever played, like, Wii Golf and, said game on the Amiga that I can't remember. But I have an IPF of it. But it doesn't work on my emulator. Possibly because the BIOS is not correct. So, this is the first boss of the game. It sucks. I think what you're supposed to do is something like this. But that's really stupid. What you should do instead, go to the corner here and just angle your sword so that these balls just run into the sword. And you see up at the middle top, that is your score. And as you gain points, I'll eventually get an extra life. And you can get up to 5, I believe, lives. Lives represented in the upper right corner. So what I normally do is I just park here and go, like, I don't know, grab something from the fridge or put on some music or something. But that's really boring to do, so I'm not going to do that. It's not like you'll get extra lives in the course of gameplay unless you die, which is a distinct possibility. Despite being pretty good at the early levels of this game, it is totally possible to just die. I've personally seen people play this game as if it was, like, traumatically difficult. But it's not. At least not in the beginning. But see, this is what I'm talking about. These level images, they're incredible. It's just great pixel art. Music's not bad either. I don't know why it took me so long there. I just decided to sit there and admire the music. See, already I'm leaving these guys alone too long. Well, some of them take variable amounts of hits before they die. Some of them I almost feel like it's more a time thing rather than getting hit. But it could be because luckily, this game does not require you to, like, buy a turbo controller or something. You just hold the button down, you know, it has auto fire. And so I'm always firing. But if you're always firing, you'll notice strange things. Like that particular enemy that dropped the sword always drops the sword. But I've never tested it where I don't, where I try to avoid killing enemies and then seeing if it drops a sword or not. I'll say these swords are the only main upgrade you get besides increasing the size of your energy beam. They're not as... It's weird to explain. It's like they're not extremely useful as far as shmup upgrades go sometimes. It's not like they're bombs or anything. There's no bombs in this game. But in certain later levels, it's like they're absolutely necessary. And unfortunately, the real reason this game can be really difficult is that if you get hit, you'll lose 2 upgrades. You'll lose one of your swords and a size of your main attack. And then you're just, depending on how far along in the game you are, you're just fucked. Like, it's impossible to get through. In addition to the swords and the size upgrades, you see these scrolls here. They give you, oh, look at that, I got an extra life. They give you, I can press spacebar. Even if I wasn't playing this on emulator, you'd still have to press spacebar to access spells. These are the spells. They have an X over them, I don't have it. The scrolls give you access to spells randomly. At least I'm like 95% sure it's random. And basically what you want to do is you never use your spells ever until you are either at the end of the game or your spell slot is completely full. Like, you have all the spells. Because after you finish maxing out all your spells, then it drops some weird, like, coin-looking icon that I'm not sure what it does. It might just be points, but it doesn't appear to do anything useful. So you don't want that. You want to maximize the amount of spells you can get. Plus, certain bosses, you know, almost all bosses do like a variation of the same thing, but that being said, they oddly differ in difficulty. Speaking of, here is our first boss. When I was young, when I was a kid, as I repeatedly say, this boss I found to be very difficult for some reason. I suppose because if you're stupid, those boomerangs will easily go up and like curl behind you. But all you gotta do, you know, is just shoot the boomerangs and they die before they can curl behind you, and it's fine. See, that wasn't so hard. And we're off to the next level. I believe this game has 6 levels. I particularly... Well, I don't know, this whole game has so much good art. I don't even know if I could say I particularly like this one. I do like it, but do I particularly like it? I particularly like the lights in the tree and the shadows, the way they're represented. It's just, it's all great. So here's something strange. I don't know if this is just me. I'm not gonna start until I finish my thought here. As I had said previously in Shadow of the Beast 3, I had external floppy disks. This is a 3-disc game, and whenever I tried on real hardware to put the floppy disks in the external disk so I didn't have to disk swap, it would always ask me to swap disks anyway. Just then, it should have told me to swap to disk 3, but it didn't. So I don't know how that works. Maybe it's like maybe it's a feature of this emulator specifically, or maybe my disk drives weren't. I have no idea. It's just weird. I don't know what to think about that. Anyway, there's a third reason that this game can be difficult, and now it's like patently obvious, and it's that if you can't tell, the enemies, I don't know if this was intentional or if this was a choice due to color palette limitations of the hardware, but the enemies are the same palettes as the background, which means that they can be difficult to spot. They like blend in too easily, and that can make this game more difficult than it like rightly deserves to be. But look at that background animation, that dragon in the background. It's fucking cool. This game does a lot with its limited palettes. I believe he was the main artist for this game, has a personal website where he goes over and shows off all the art assets for this game and what they did to get it to look so good. And one of the things I remember that I thought was really neat was that the palettes that you could use, they were limited. You can only use so many background colors, but there was also a specific color you can assign to no color. And so they would use that to artificially increase the amount of colors they could use. It's pretty neat. Pretty clever. I believe that this game was relatively late in development if you consider all the visually stunning games Psygnosis had previously made. You know, this was several years after the first Shadow of the Beast, which was impressive for the time, visually. Maybe not gameplay-wise, as I have harped about before, although, as I said, I do not believe that it is as difficult as is commonly referred to. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Let me just check. Yeah, I just wanted to see 2 more. So here's what I mean about, like, you can just hug the corner here. It's perfectly safe. You don't have to hug the corner, but I do because, well, basically you get hit once, you die. Losing upgrades is such a horrific problem that you really don't want to have to deal with it. Like right there, if I didn't have my upper sword, that little ball thing would have killed me. I believe, yeah, we're at the boss. This boss, for some reason, I don't know, I feel like it's the hardest boss in the game. In fact, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna... There we go. I killed it so quickly that I didn't even show off all it does. All it does is shoots those golf balls, and then every now and then it'll stop and throw its tongue at you. This is definitely my favorite art in this game. If I could, I would like commission a real oil painting of it. Someone to reproduce it in oil paints, and I'd hang it on my wall. I'd like frame it first, then hang it on my wall. Alright, this is when the game gets like actually difficult, and this is also where if you don't have all the upgrades, you can very easily just get fucked and just die. So we'll see. If I do die, it's no biggie. I'll just restart off camera, you know, and just edit it in, and I'll try again. But hopefully I won't die at all. That, as you can see, this is why things get a little wonky in terms of abilities you need. You got enemies coming in from the top and bottom, and they don't die immediately. These jelly beans, I always call them jelly beans. These things will fucking kill you if you don't have an upper sword. It's just too much shit to pay attention to on the screen. Even though, yes, I know it's not like a fucking Toho game. Everything goes really slow, but I don't know, it's different. It's still difficult. I don't really know how to explain it, or like why it is. It's not Ikaruga. I suppose because unlike those games, you really do just shit the bed after getting hit once. Like, actually, oh good, thank God. So if you ever have total all the spells, the best one to keep wasting is Invulnerability, because it lasts 12 seconds, which is quite a long time. I think it's the longest of any of the spells, and it's so obviously useful. You can just do that. Those things, they shoot beams of fire. And once the beams of fire get released, they you can't kill the fire. Unlike this fire, you can kill this fire. Although it tends to outlast your sword is better at killing the fire. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're at a situation where I can just start spamming invincibility. Unless one of these, you just gotta make sure that to keep watch of the time. Yep, time to hug that screen. Anyway, as I was saying, you gotta make sure to keep watch of when the invincibility is gonna leave, because if you drop invincibility in the middle of something horrible, you'll die. God, I'm letting too many things clutter up in the bottom there. Thank God I got a sword. Thank God I got more invincibility. Here's another greatly animated background dragon. Although I like the palette of this level more than the last one a lot. I like the, it's almost like Dawn. Like the last boss, this guy just stops and, shit. I have to decide if I want to actually, it's so devastating to get hit that I am just gonna, there we go. Like the last boss, as I said, this guy just decides to stop and then fire off his mace. It's probably not Pendak's mace. I don't remember if it was Pendak or Pendek. That wasn't too bad. It's not ideal to have wasted a... But I don't want to really risk it. I'm not using save states or anything. Maybe I should. But... if I legitimately lose, then I'll start all over again. These are some pretty cool mountains. The ones in the background particularly that look like they're carved. Alright, now it's time to possibly get my ass beat. At this point, it is totally the case. If you get hit once, you're fucking dead. You really need from here on to have as much power as you are capable of having. It's a necessity. Too much crap is coming at you all the time. As I said, I'm aware that this doesn't look like some kind of bullet hell game. It's not like Mushihime-sama. It's not, you know, KO Flying Squadron. I'm just like listing off. Oh no! Oh, I got it. So let me just make sure. Yes, I got it. But it's still difficult. I suppose it's difficult because these enemies take so many hits a lot of the time. And they block each other. And there's so many of them, and they're so big on the screen. Those particular weird little balls with tentacles on them, I feel like I've killed them before, but if I have, it must have been like extremely difficult, because I feel like I've only done it like once ever. They either are invincible and I'm misremembering, or they have like an incredible amount of health. Thank God I'm back to spamming invincibility. It's just stressful dealing with all this shit. Awesome, I basically wasted it. Looks like you got Dracula's castle in the background over there. Fuck. See, some of them... oh no, that's not good. Some of these enemies like that fucking thing, they have high health and they deliberately block your attacks for other enemies. Damn, I really wish I hadn't missed that spell. Oh, you didn't even comment that we're reusing music at this point. Uh-oh. Oh, I had full magic anyway. Thank God, because I was gonna die there. That was death in a situation like that where you're like cornered by the golf balls, you either got to use invincibility or use the time stop spell. Did I get it? I don't even know. I really shouldn't, but I'm going to anyway. I have 7 seconds. Let's see if I can kill this thing. Oh, it's possible. And the reason you either use invincibility or the time stop is because time stop gets rid of these golf balls. In general, I know I used a spell there, but I feel like this boss isn't as hard as the last two. I guess because it's more regular in its attack pattern. It's not like you're predicting anything. And here we go. You got the title screen image again, signifying the final level. You know, I forgot. I was gonna mention the story. From what I remember, a wizard had 2 apprentices, and the wizard died. And the evil apprentice decided to steal the power of creation and summon a bunch of monsters to do all this shit. And the good apprentice is who you're playing as, and he transforms into an owl to challenge him. And that's the story. I'm missing a lot of the names. The names make it cool. They're very 80s metal. Anyway, let's go. So from here on out, there is no purpose to saving your spells. In fact, I am not convinced that you can get through this bullshit, this barrage of magma turtles without spells. The only one you don't want to use is this. You want to save that for the final boss, because in every other context, this is a shit spell. I'm trying to think like what. I suppose this was good. This makes a little clone of you that can... Yep, I thought so. Okay, so it's time to start sucking shit. Like, we are fucked. Man, it sucks to die on the fucking last level like that, or at the beginning of it. Depending on how far along you are, you might be able to get through. Another reason this sucks is that, if you couldn't tell, upgrades go in an order. You don't get... Oh my god. You don't get more magic until you've already maxed out your fighting abilities. And you don't get any swords until you've maxed out your magic. So, overall, I'm screwed. Like, this is really, really bad. I really need... Okay, so... Come on, why is it like anything dropping anything? Okay, that's helpful. It's not as helpful if I can just get a sword. If I can get a sword, or like blast until a sword appears, I might actually survive. Oh god, things are coming from the bottom. Just hug the corner. Maybe you'll be safe. You might not, because that might happen. Those fucking golf balls. Just hug the corner. That's my strategy until I get a bottom sword, or I get the boss. If I hit the boss is actually... I feel like the boss is the second... Okay, do I have literally anything? No, I don't. The second easiest boss in this game. Oh, I did get a sword. I thought I might have, but I didn't know if I caught it or not. Anyway, as I was saying, the final boss is like the second easiest boss in the game, as long as you have that particular magic spell that I've saved. So as long as I can get to him, I'll probably be fine, even if I don't have full health. Okay, these things fucking suck. I do not remember their patterns. They, as you can see, they had a lot of health. Okay, not bad. Okay, still. Now we just gotta. But this fucking thing is still not dead. Okay, we're at the final boss. We might be able to do it. It might be possible. This is what you do. As long as you have those beams firing out, these fucking things he's firing suck ass. They can't hit you. Oh man, that was close. I mean, even though I had two lives left, like eating so much shit, it's too easy to die. I'm glad I didn't though. Congratulations, you defeated Mentor. Ah, that's the evil apprentice. The spirit of Acanthropsis appears. That is your master, Acanthropsis. And gives you the scroll that reveals the secret of cosmic strength and world creation. Wow, that is epic. You will have to hide this mighty secret in a safe place to preserve the peace forever. The end. The moral of the story, don't train evil apprentices. Only train good ones. Now that's a cool fucking name, Acanthropsis. Anyway, that was Agony. Pretty short game if you don't die. Which I'm surprised I didn't. And by die, I mean, of course, if you don't lose all your lives and have to start over. So, I'll see you later.